It's an everyday thing, it's an everyday thing, it's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
One thing I think we can agree on is we shouldn't shut down the government over a dispute. And you want to shut it down. You keep talking about it.
The last time, Chuck, you shut it down.
No.
And then you opened it up very
20
quickly.
times. 20 times.
I don't want to do what you did.
20 times you have called for, I will shut down the government if I don't get my wool. None of us have said.
You want to know something?
You've said it.
Okay, you want to put that on my...
You've said it.
I'll take it.
Okay, good.
You know what I'll say? Yes. If we don't get what we want, one way or the other, whether it's through you, through a military, through anything you want to call, I will shut down the government.
Okay,
absolutely.
fair enough.
And I am proud, and I'll tell you what,
disagree.
I am proud to shut down the government for border security, Chuck, because the people of this country don't want criminals and people that have lots of problems and drugs pouring into our country. So I will take the...
I don't think it's border security that's shutting down. I do not think for 1 second that in that bill, border security is shutting the government down. That's not what they're fighting over. It's something more in that bill.
I will be the one to shut it down. I'm not going to blame you for it. The last time you shut it down, it didn't work. I will take the mantle of shutting down. And I'm going to shut it down for border security.
But we believe you shouldn't shut it down.
Thank you very much.
One thing.
Oh, no. See, he hit y'all with one of those talking points. Border security. I will shut it down if we don't get border security. I'm not fighting for border. I want border security. I don't want drugs and a bunch of other stuff coming into my community. It's a fact. Listen, if people are openly coming to our country and we have an open door policy for immigrants, we don't know who's coming to our country. This is a fact. Now, do we want hardworking immigrants? Yes. But if you let them in and if you just randomly let anybody in without vetting them, without checking them, without knowing who they are, from where they from, what if? It's the what if factor. And I don't want to place that immigrants are bad, but it's just because we got bad Americans all across the board. Especially these ones. I think today the domestic terrorists took a day off. Like finally, y'all had a rough 2 days. Like Saturday and Sunday was rough for the domestic terrorists. Like they was out there, wasn't they? But what I'm saying is, it's more in there in this bill. It's not about border security. It's not about border security. It's about health care. It's about the SNAP benefits. It's about housing. It's about federal funding for like community action. What you would say is like people that actually help their communities based on the federal funding that they have, like YMCA's and what's them places for women, battered women's shelters shutting down. Don't y'all think y'all need them? Mental health facilities that receive a lot of federal funding, these things are being defunded. But it's about border security. It's about border security.
Our Robert Costa spoke this morning to President Trump. Bob, top leaders, both parties, both sides of the Capitol are coming to the White House. Did the president tell you he thinks a shutdown can be avoided?
A shutdown looks likely at this point, based on my conversation this morning with President Trump. He says both sides are at a stalemate. Democrats want to extend health care subsidies that were part of the Affordable Care Act, but President Trump said his focus on health care is on preventing undocumented migrants from having access to any of the U.S. healthcare system. Now, it's illegal for any non-citizen to have that sort of access, but President Trump says we're not going to have it. Quote, we're not going to allow it in terms of moving forward on any discussion unless the Democrats come to his side on health care and don't focus on the subsidies. But based on my conversations with top Democrats, that's not going to happen. So President Trump told me, quote, I just don't know how we are going to solve this issue. That makes a shutdown quite likely. And Inside the White House, sources are saying President Trump actually welcomes a shutdown in the sense that he believes he can wield executive power to get rid of what he calls waste, fraud, and abuse. And there is that memo, as you mentioned, that says the government is ready to have mass firings if a deal isn't struck.
Reductions in force, right. Well, we also know that the president took some extraordinary public statements in the past few days. He publicly said he wants to see Adam Schiff, now a senator, Letitia James prosecuted, along with James Comey, the former FBI director, who is now indicted. Yesterday, he twice posted on social media about former FBI director Chris Wray. Did the president tell you, is he planning prosecutions?
I did not speak directly to the president about that today, but fishing around all weekend in his inner circle, it's clear this is just the beginning in terms of possible prosecutions of those who have scrutinized the president or criticized him over the years. You mentioned the mortgage policy potentially of Senator Adam Schiff of California. He's being discussed inside of the Trump administration. So is Letitia James, the New York Attorney General who sued the president over how he valued his real estate holdings. And there are others not even on our radar at this moment, like retired Joint Chiefs Chairman Mark Milley, who are being discussed as people who may have taken action against the administration or president in some way, allegedly, in the views of those inside, and they want to see the Justice Department hold them to account. There's such a gap right now in Washington. Republicans believe what President Trump is doing is accountability. Democrats are alarmed and see this as authoritarian government at work. And there's a real tension there that's not going away.
No, and a justice system that has to deal with evidence and facts. And we're going to talk about all of this ahead with some of our guests. Robert Costa, thank you very much.
Mr. President, furloughs are...
Somebody said Donald Trump ain't even taking a salary, and explain Omar going from 30,000 to millions on the salary of, listen, President Obama didn't take a salary either. Like, how is that even news? President Obama didn't take a salary. He donated it. Like, that's not news. That's not like something that, oh man, Trump, he's for the people. I mean, he's donated all his salaries. Every quarter, every 3 months, he donates his salary. So did Obama. Like, what are we talking about? You know? That doesn't make any sense. But I guess.
Very typical when the government shuts down. Why is the administration directing federal layoffs of federal workers this time around?
Well, this is all caused by the Democrats. They asked us to do something that's totally unreasonable. They never change. They want to give money away to illegally, people that entered our country illegally. They want to give them massive federal money. And we don't want to do that because it means everyone's going to just keep pouring back. Right now we have absolutely perfect borders like you haven't seen in many years. Even better than I had great borders during my 4 years, but these borders are stone cold closed. You can only come into our country legally now. But the Democrats want to give it all away. They want to open up the borders. Take a look at that. Big thing. They want to open borders again. After what we're going through now, getting rid of prisoners, getting rid of all of these people dropped out from mental institutions, drug dealers, drug addicts, everything.
Regular families, hardworking immigrants. Don't forget them people too.
They're putting everybody into our country. It's all ended now. But this is what Schumer wants. This is what the Democrats want. They want to have, and they want to take our money. We're doing well because of tariffs. We're doing unbelievable. We're making more money than we ever have made.
Mr. President, furloughs are very typical when the government shuts down. Layoffs of federal workers this time around.
Well, this is all caused by the Democrats. They asked us to do something that's totally unreasonable. They never change. They want to give money away to illegally, people that entered our country illegally. They want to give them massive federal money. And we don't want to do that because it means everyone's going to just keep pouring back. Right now we have absolutely perfect borders.
So do y'all believe this? y'all believe that Democrats want to give money to illegals for health care. Now, they want to give money to illegals for health care, but yet, as an American, if I go to the emergency room and I don't have insurance, I am stuck with a $3,000 bill and no federal funding. So as an American, but I guess if you're an illegal and you're undocumented, once you go to the hospital, they have to treat you, but they have to release you because you don't have no insurance. Man. But guess what? They don't pay that bill. But me being an American, it affects my credit. Can I get a home with this $3,000 medical bill? Nope. I'm an American though. The healthcare system's supposed to help me. Nope, it don't. So who are we fighting for? Who are we fighting for? If we had perfect borders, I got a cousin in jail right now for selling fentanyl to somebody in their overdose. Mind you, my cousin's a fucking idiot. He doesn't even know what fentanyl is, how to make it, how it got in the drug or whatever. But you telling me this goddamn idiot knows that it's fentanyl in there and he's the cause of it, and you know, I mean, he not an idiot, but I'm just saying, he ain't making no goddamn pills. How they getting over here? How's it getting in the drugs? He ain't doing it. But the shit is getting in the country. Have y'all ever seen a fentanyl mill? I've seen plenty of marijuana grow fields and stuff like that, but where they getting this fentanyl from? Maybe check the doctors. Are the doctors writing out scripts that they not supposed to? It's not. But y'all keep believing it's crap.
If it has to shut down, it'll have to shut down.
Today, a high-stakes meeting at the White House as the clock ticks down to a government shutdown, now less than 48 hours away. For the first time ever, President Trump meeting with the top 4 congressional leaders, but neither side indicating they're willing to budge.
We're heading into the meeting to have a good faith negotiation about landing the plane in a way that avoids a government shutdown but does not continue the Republican assault on the health care of the American people.
At the center of the issue, health care. Democrats want Republicans to roll back cuts made earlier this year to programs like Medicaid. But Republicans defending the cuts, saying,
our message and what we want out of this is very simple. The president wants to keep the government open. He wants to keep the government funded. There is zero good reason for Democrats to vote against this clean, continuing resolution.
Republicans control every branch of government, but they do need some Democrats in order to pass this bill. It all comes as Trump continues to try to end the war in Gaza. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House today.
President Trump, are you confident, sir, there'll be peace in Gaza anytime soon?
The White House now releasing a 20-point plan to end the war in Gaza. It includes the redevelopment of that area, as well as the release of all hostages, which would trigger more aid being let into the region. Trump saying Netanyahu has agreed to those terms. No indication yet if Hamas will too.
Man, I was all in until I seen that Netanyahu. Man, all the stuff I seen today about Netanyahu, I don't know whether to believe it or not. Honestly, I ain't finna talk about it, because I seen what happened to Nick Cannon. I seen what happened to Kanye West. I seen what happened to Jimmy Kimmel. Not me. No sirree. You not gonna get me, buddy.